All right. Well, stay with us. We're turning to more news now coming in Jerusalem. United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio also said Washington will continue to press Qatar to play what he called a constructive role in ending the war in Gaza and securing the release of hostages. Standing alongside Prime Minister Netanyahu, Rubio said the fundamentals remain unchanged as Hamas still holds 48 lives captive. On Sunday, though, Hamas announced that it has suspended prisoner swap talks, accusing Israel of targeting its delegation during airstrikes in Doha last week. The group said 5 of its members and a Qatari security officer were killed, while its senior negotiators survived. The move threatens to derail months of mediation efforts by Qatar, Egypt and the US. Meanwhile, Israeli strikes continue to hit Gaza City, leveling residential towers. Israel says it is targeting Hamas infrastructure, but Palestinian officials report dozens of civilian deaths.
And so we're going to continue to encourage Qatar to play a constructive role in that regard. We're focused because at the end of the day, no matter what has happened, these fundamentals still remain. There is still a Hamas, there is still 48 hostages, and there is still a war going on. And all of these things standing in the way of a better future for the people of Gaza and a peaceful end to what's happening now. So we're going to remain focused on what we can do next.
Ross Feingold, a political analyst, is live with us on this story. Ross, clearly Marco Rubio saying that despite this strike, they will continue to encourage Qatar, in fact, to put a bit of pressure on them as well to continue these mediation efforts.
The Qataris deserve a lot of praise throughout the war in Gaza since October 2023. They've been heavily involved in negotiating the past ceasefires and continuing to be involved, along with the Egyptians and at times the Americans as well, to bring about another ceasefire. So they've worked very hard on this, and it's understandable that the United States would continue to encourage the Qataris to play that role. But obviously, there's now going to be a gap because previously the Qatari government dealt with the Israeli government as part of those negotiations. Israeli officials would visit Qatar to talk directly with the Qataris about the progress of those ceasefire negotiations. And now there's a trust gap between Qatar and Israel. And how can that be bridged going forward? At the moment, we simply don't know.
All right. And Ross, also very quickly about now the mediation efforts. Do you believe they have been derailed, or can things come back on track?
It's really unknown at the moment, and Prime Minister Netanyahu has decided to proceed with the attack on Gaza City, and that is frankly consistent with his policy, which all along has been the destruction of Hamas. So is there a potential for a ceasefire? I would hesitate to say it's impossible, it will never happen. But even if it happens, it's not happening in the next few days, and in the interim, the war is going to continue and the civilians are going to continue to suffer.
All right. Appreciate you joining us, Ross Feingold, with your perspective on that story. United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio